One, go.
Welcome back to the podcast, What's the Odds with Steve Renazizi. It is August 5th, 2020, Wednesday, and I am joined, almost as always now, by my buddy Brenton Biddlecombe, Lucas Hurl, and Emma up in the top square up in the corner. It is the beginning of August. We're done with July. Lives are still basically the same. Is everyone healthy and everyone doing well?
Yeah.
Good.
Doing good, Steve.
You never know these days.
Feeling good.
You're feeling good. That's
feeling
good.
Feeling good. Today's a good day.
How is you've been gambling or daily fantasy on basketball? How has that been going, Brenton?
Not well. Not
Why?
well.
What happened? The bubbles got you fucked up?
I don't know, man. Watching these games through the Zoom camera in the crowd isn't the same. It's just there's no luck yet.
Dude,
We're gonna get it though.
I'm really disappointed. I've watched like 4 or 5 of the NBA games, and nobody on the Zoom's been doing anything inappropriate so far. No. You know, like I know there's got to be a lag, but like I remember. Do you remember when Duncan and Ari went to that UFC fight and they got because Rogan got them tickets right behind the cage, and all of a sudden they could tell that the camera kept going on them because like their Instagram was blowing up, and then all of a sudden they just they knew the camera was on them and saw the red light, and they just turned and kissed each other. Like nobody's done that on one of these basketball games yet, and I'm highly disappointed. Because the Knicks aren't in it. I'm not zooming into a fucking team that I don't give a shit about.
I think you have to pay for those tickets, too, just to have your face showing.
Oh, they want every nickel they can get out of this whole thing. Baseball, all the baseball teams are putting, like, advertising, like, their NASCARs on the field. You see, like, T-Mobile, they're like, Audi, fucking, they have the circles painted on the, like, they got to run over them to get the first base. He just touched the Audi first base. It's like, come on, guys, pump the brakes. You can't give away the fucking bases. Can't be sponsored, each individual base. But you've been shitting the bed when it comes to this bubble gambling. Am I correct?
Yeah. My bubble's burst.
Do you think it has anything to do with these guys don't want to wake up at noon and play games at noon? I mean, they'll practice at noon, but if it counts at noon, that might not be. I mean, they do it on Sundays once in a while.
No, I think they're playing harder, if anything. The atmosphere is kind of like in The Last Dance. When they were just practicing, the Olympic team. It feels like that. Like there's probably some great shit talking going on because it mutes every 5 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, there's no crowd to distract them. It's just literally who's better than who.
And in that moment,
basketball should be played.
Without fans. Way to grow,
Without
Brenton.
fans.
Without fans. This is how everything should be, without fans.
Yes.
I find it interesting because I feel like, first of all, if I knew, and I should have bet, if you took the overs on those first 6 games, you would have won thousands of dollars because you're right. It is more like practice where the team that figures out how to play defense in this situation the quickest and the best will, you know, the Bucks are a great defensive team, but they haven't really they haven't locked it down yet. Once they figure out, you know, they get back into their groove a week or two of lockdown defense, you'll see the scores come down, and you'll see even better basketball then. Right now, it's sort of little all-star-ish, where we're a lot of passes, a lot of turnovers, a little bit of a slop here and there, a lot of you know, much more effort than an all-star game. But it's that run-and-gun style that's sort of, you know. And I did watch the Harden Rockets team, which is like, you know, that's how they're going to play regardless. So that's fun to watch. I mean, I got to say, Zion does not look right, does not look explosive, does not look – I mean, I know they try to teach him how to walk differently, but it's not working, dude. Have you seen that guy walk back to his seat? He looks like Greg Odom, the way I would expect Greg Odom, who has like one fake foot now, to walk back to his seat. It's like it's not – it doesn't look like the gait of a 20-year-old, you know, elite professional athlete, highest ever. I mean,
he's like going to be one of the best basketball players if he stays healthy. One of the best basketball players ever to play. But he runs like Forrest Gump wearing those braces. Exactly. He's so unathletically incredible.
I enjoy watching him, but I watch him the way I'm like, oh God, just like I don't want to be watching live when he fucking tears his ACL or breaks something. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be that. I don't want to be witness to that. And I feel like that's sort of the way his body's shaped to go. Like some sort of traumatic injury real quick that we're all going to have to witness, like, when what's his name went into, broke his ankle and went into the stanchion and stuff. It's like, I don't like those kind of injuries. They make me nauseous. And I feel like he's just a walking one of those. And he hasn't been like that I watched him play with the Lakers the other night. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Or who were they playing the other night? I don't know. Or he was over, we were watching the game. And he gets 2 offensive rebounds. And usually those are just fucking right back up and he dunks it in somebody's face. It looked like he couldn't even lift off the floor. So, I mean, I don't know if he's healthy or 100% back to game shape, but it just didn't look like explosive, Zion Williamson. I'm a little
but we're probably not going to
cautious.
see that till next year.
Yeah. Again, he hasn't, he can't shoot the ball that well, but neither could LeBron his first year. He doesn't play great defense. And, that comes. You have to learn a scheme. And he also is a big man. So it's like, what position does he play? So, he's going to get better. I just hope that he, again, like you said, can stay healthy, but his body language does not show that of a healthy person, in my opinion. But it's been fun to watch. You're right. It is like March Madness. They're playing like boom, 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 boom. And I know the Nets beat the Bucks last night, so that kind of turned things around a little bit. Lou Williams is he back in the bubble now? He's back and allowed to play.
He's back in the bubble. Let's see if he's playing.
Yeah, he's back now.
What's been the problem for you, Brendan? Just the guys you pick?
Just the guys I pick. It doesn't pan out. You have a feeling, and I had the best I did because they did Thursday and Friday. They did the $1 million contest, and I think I placed on Friday in the top 400 in like the big contest, and I've never done that before in basketball. It was the best I did, but I mean that still translates to only like $100. So I don't know, man. I just gotta.
I was just about to brag that I won $40 on DraftKings in golf last week. Well, actually, I didn't win $40. I won $40, but it was a $25 buy-in, so I won $15.
Yeah, this was what were they charging? 20 or 25, and I came out with 100. But it was the best I'd ever placed, which means nothing when it's a contest of 500,000 people.
Yeah.
But somebody won $1 million this weekend.
And it wasn't you, thank God.
It was
thank
not
God.
me.
Otherwise, we would have serious collusion on our hands. Are you doing it every day? Are you doing it like game by game, or is it just?
Yeah, I've been doing the showdowns. Like I'm going to do the Lakers Thunder today.
Do you get challenged by people? Sometimes I get like these invitations.
All the time.
Yeah. Do you take them? Sometimes I do.
Nah, never.
For golf ones, I might once in a while.
Yeah,
I
don't.
Ones?
Like I get challenged NASCAR and random stuff like the esports and stuff, and I just ignore it.
Yeah.
But like my phone blew up when I won the $1 million. It blew up with people requesting to face off against me.
Of course, dude. Everyone had the same feeling. They were like, if this moron can do it,
fuck
any of
this
us can
guy.
do it.
I'm going to take $12 from him now.
Yeah, the bubble's been fun to watch. I'm trying to think of like the Zoom stuff is sort of weird. It's interesting. I'm glad they tried it. I can't tell how many different courts they have though. Like how many courts do you think they have?
They probably have 3 or 4. That's a good question. Do you want to look that up, Lucas?
Yeah, because I'm trying to figure out where they're playing inside banquet rooms. Is it a sports complex?
No, it's a sports complex. They're in Orlando. Disney World has a huge sports complex.
And then, okay, the 3 courts like in the same building, or they're like different buildings. So I could, I don't know if you could have one game happening.
I think it's the same building, and they just kind of block off. It could be one giant court, or they just have it split into 3 smaller courts, and then they build up the walls with like the Zoom things and the benches and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
because it looks like when they zoom out, there's like 10 or 12 baseball fields, a bunch of soccer fields, and then one big like dome where they're playing basketball.
Yeah. I mean, they showed like all the different rooms they have for like the games and all that stuff. They have like a golf simulator room. They have like, just a whole room filled with TVs and beanbag chairs with like PlayStations and all that shit. I mean, they've made it into like a summer camp for these guys, but hey, they don't have chicken wings and strippers. Hello, when's that going to happen?
Yeah.
Also, Sam Tripoli and I came up with a great idea last night that the 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, those 2 weeks, they should be the purge weeks where anything's allowed. If you go to that city to go to the Super Bowl, everything's legal. Everything's legal. I think that's a great idea. We should add that. And it's, it's you go there and then you're you have to sign a waiver once you go into the whatever. So maybe even the bubble, you just make it like the purge. Anything can happen inside the bubble too.
They want to do it next year.
What, the bubble?
Players, the players have already said they're on board, but they want to move it to like Hawaii or the Caribbean or something.
Do they
A
really?
lot of them are, because they know this isn't going to end. They're still going to have to worry about coronavirus next year, and they're like, "This is fun. Let's do it, but let's do it somewhere probably where they can go out and get some strippers or get some wings or whatever, not in the middle of Disney World."
Yeah, I mean that just shows that Orlando sucks.
Yeah,
because these guys are like, let's get the fuck out of here. And shout out to all our fans in Orlando. You know it sucks. We know it sucks. Okay, it sucks. It's Disney, and
My sister lives there. It sucks.
It really does. I mean, I know like Dave Taylor grew up around there, or his mom lives around there. It's like he's like it sucks. So
it's not so magic, Steve.
It's not. It's fucking depressed people that work at the Magic Kingdom for minimum wage that have to clean up dead bodies on the side and not tell anyone about them. And, probably some strip malls, some meth heads, and a couple fucking Magic fans running around. What else is Orlando? I'm not sure. I think I got it all right there. So, yeah, let's move it to fucking – what do they make? They should make it like an island, like Dana White did. Have it be like Basketball Island. Put it in Abu Dhabi, some place where there's like no laws, or these guys can just really get loose. You want to see fucking your first 200-point game? Let these guys run around and do whatever the fuck they want to do on an island. I got an idea. Jeffrey Epstein's island's free. St. James Island. Why don't we do it on that? They build a couple courts. Bill Clinton will go. He knows the fucking way. Guys, let's not get crazy on the podcast. I can see Brenton tightening up. He's nervous. He doesn't want to get involved in this.
We're losing sponsors by the second.
Look, we are a highly sponsored show, and we have to be careful about what we say. We don't want to anger.
We just gained the Lolita Express as a sponsor, so it's fine.
Bingo. Look at that. God giveth, and he taketh away, or reverse it, whatever. Lucas, you seem pretty comfortable with this whole thing, right? You're good with it. He's nodding his head. Yes, that's great for a podcast. Perfect. Speaking of roping you guys into things you may not want to do, again, I was on the Punch Drunk podcast we recorded last night, and Jason Tebow, he challenged me to a bag of bets bet, and I, of course, roped you guys into it as well. So here's what's going to happen. Jason's been playing a lot of golf. He's had a lot of free time in the COVID outbreak. So he's staying with his lesbian mom in the Midwest. So he goes, you'll do anything. And he goes, between Notre Dame female basketball games and golf, me and my mom are really connecting. So he's out playing golf. He feels like he's starting to get a hold of the game and some knowledge. So he essentially, because the PGA Championship is this weekend, and I want to talk about that. It's in San Francisco at Harding Park. And so to make things spicy and interesting to watch the PGA Championship, Jason picked 5 golfers, and I chose 5 golfers. Now, if one of my golfers wins, he loses, and vice versa. And now, if one of the 10 golfers we both chose doesn't win, then we both have to be subjected to the punishment. Now, what is the punishment? Well, apparently, Johnny Woodward, the producer on Punch Drunk, found these jelly beans that are the spiciest. They're like 50, 90 something on some sort of rectal meter. I don't know. I'm not a
the Scoville thing.
Rectal, Scoville. You say rectal, I say Scoville.
Let me know what it feels like when you stick it up your butt and how feels, and we can start that scale. But I don't think it exists yet.
Okay. By the way, note to self: start the rectal scale from 0 to 100. How hot is that object in my ass? Anyway, the Scoville scale, it's like off the charts on the Scoville scale. They're jelly beans, right? So the loser has to eat 2 jelly beans. Now, I said, look, what if, and this was just my idea, what if instead of me eating the 2 jelly beans, I film me giving the jelly beans to my 2 sons and watch them shove them into their mouth and film their reactions.
That might be illegal.
And this was debated. I did say, I said, look, I'm offering.
You might lose your kids.
Why? They're mine.
Because someone would report you to child services. You can't do that to for abuse.
Giving my kids candy? Is that against the law?
For torturing them.
Look, it's not 100% torture. We don't know how their reaction's going to be to it. They may be into spicy hot foods. I doubt it. But of course, we reined in that idea because I said you get 2 Ranazizis for 1 then, and that's not a bad idea. But we reined it in. We said, nope. In lieu of that, we will eat the jelly beans. But we made a side bet. We picked our 5 golfers each. The lowest to par out of my 5 golfers versus his 5 golfers, right? You have to get someone else from your podcast to eat a jelly bean on the podcast as well. So I said, Emma's untouchable. She's our princess, and first of all, she's the most valuable player. Oh, that's not the ones. They were in like ghost pepper, habanero. Yeah, those are all ones inside. I'm sure they're the same thing. Johnny found a whole bag of them, but it's probably the exact same company that makes this. He said he tasted one in the corner of his mouth and his mouth blew up. So I said, Emma can't do this. We can't have her. We can't lose her. So, and I did say, I go, Lucas is always a down for anything. He's my fucking utility player. He does it. Brenton is honestly, he's changed over the podcast. He's very prissy now. He only drinks Pinot Noir.
Money changed him.
I can't drink
Perignon going through his lips. That's it.
No, I can't drink carbonation, Steve. It hurts my tummy.
Oh, okay. He got like a nutritionist.
Well, further voicing the point.
So exactly. I think I should eat the ghost pepper just because I won't be able to handle it, and it's good for television.
Great. Well, you can eat a ghost pepper. I got to find out how Johnny, I'll have him get you a bag by next week, Tuesday or Wednesday.
But that's if we lose. I mean, you picked the right golfers, right?
Now I'll tell you who I picked, okay? Now, here's the deal. I gave him first round pick, so I'll tell you who we got so you can root for these players. All right. I'll tell you how the draft went, even though neither one of us.
Do you know who he is?
Yes.
I'm actually going to watch and keep track of this.
I'm going to look at the score.
The first time ever I'm going to watch a whole weekend of golf.
Right, hold on. So golf, let me go to the Fantasy Millionaire. Okay. All right.
Wait, so who's going to eat it if you win? It's going to be Teebs and who?
Probably Johnny.
Oh, Johnny. Sam? Johnny's going to do it. So
okay.
He went first. I let him pick first. He took Justin Thomas. Now, here's why I didn't take Justin Thomas. I would have taken Justin Thomas had he not won this past weekend. Now, that sounds weird. He just won. But there's a lot more obligations press-wise coming off of a win. And also, he is one of the favorites, and he's the number 1 player in the world. So he's done a lot of press. He was the last guy to get to San Francisco. He was the last guy out of Memphis. That's a long flight. So while other guys were there on Sunday playing, Tiger Woods, a couple other dudes, he was, doing other things like winning shit. But not a bad pick. Then I went Rory McIlroy. That's our guy. He then went Brooks Koepka, the thing. Now, the reason I didn't take Koepka, even though he's won 2 PGAs in a row, is because I don't think his knee is right. And I don't think he's telling everyone that his knee is right. And I think he could have one day where he blows up a little bit. Then I took Webb Simpson. I think Webb Simpson's going to win it. That's my guy. I think my choice right now, him or McIlroy. Then he took Jon Rahm. He took Rahm. I know I have Schauffele and Cantlay. Did I take DeChambeau, or how many is that then? Or did he take DeChambeau?
You don't even know?
Wait, hold on. I have McIlroy.
This well organized.
No, I'd have to go back and listen to their podcast if they've even released it yet. But I know I have McIlroy, Simpson, Schauffele, Cantlay, and I'm almost positive I have DeChambeau. He's got Thomas, Koepka, Rahm. I know that. Tiger Woods and Dustin Johnson. Oh, and I have Daniel Berger too.
So
I have the odds, right?
You have
I have
6
odds, right?
Yes, we took 6. No, I took Colin Morikawa, and Daniel Berger's my alternate. Now, if somebody gets COVID, then we can replace him with your alternate. He's got Dustin Johnson, Tiger Woods, Rahm, Koepka, and Thomas, and I don't remember who his alternate was.
Wait, Lucas, did you say you have the odds right there?
I have the odds right here, Steve. You're taking all the underdogs. It seems like Tebow has all the favorites.
He's got
Perfect.
He's got Ricky Fowler too. Trust me, dude. We're good. Okay.
Brent, you
Perfect.
better start training with some spicy food.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you.
I got a thing of Anchor Bar sauce. I'm just going to chug the whole thing after this.
There you go.
Now, here are my concerns, okay? The guys that I pick for my fantasy and for daily fantasy, obviously there's limitations. You can't pick whoever the fuck you want. So I took a lot of because it's going to be windy and cold. Who loves to play in wind and cold? I know, the British. So I took Tommy Fleetwood. I took Rory McIlroy. I took Danny Willett. Danny Willett came in second place at the 2015 Match Play Championship, held where? At Harding in San Francisco. So he plays well on this course. It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. The guys that I see practicing right now are wearing it looks like they're playing in the Arctic. It's insane. I mean, what is it, 98 in LA right now?
That's a good question. Let's see.
It's probably what, 90 something?
No, it's
Storms
been cooler
like crazy
this week.
here.
It's like 56 degrees and rainy and cold.
75 and sunny in Burbank.
Yeah. So yeah, I like the odds to win. Yeah, Brooks and Justin, obviously. Bryson. The reason I like Bryson is because I took Bryson. I remember that now. It's because he moves. Obviously, he drives the ball really, really long, but he also is a little bit wild. Now the problem is the fairways at Harding are really narrow. So even if you go down and hit a 3-wood, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to stay in the fairway. They roll off. You can still be in the rough. So if you're going to be in the rough, you might as well be in the rough 65 yards further down and hit a driver. Understand what I'm saying? So that's
not really, but yeah.
That's why I like Bryson. So
let's win.
If Rory McIlroy drives the ball the way he normally does, and he putts at 8 out of 10, he's gonna run away with this thing, and we're good to go, bro. We're good to go. So next week, we will either have to go call into or Zoom into Punch Drunk, or they will Zoom into our podcast for the results, because this is it, guys. I committed us to something. There's no going back now. We're gonna eat beans.
Well, let's hope that we have special guests on this podcast next week.
I'm sure we will, dude. Trust me. I'm sure we will. I'm surprised. I didn't know if I was getting baited into something where he was gonna pick the way you pick based on names. People that the names that you like, Acri Barnrat or something like that.
System works, man.
Whatever. For my fantasy, let me tell you who I have for my daily DraftKings.
You better have the same fucking lineup.
Should I tell people my DraftKings, or will they copy it? Or is this?
I mean, they could copy it.
They could copy it, and what if I win the million, and then I got to split it with somebody else?
Yeah, if 2 people, usually what it looks like when 2 people get the million, it's around 575,000. So you do lose a lot having the same lineup.
Okay, well. Matthew Fitzpatrick, English. Tommy Fleetwood, English. Rory McIlroy, English. Justin Rose, English. Danny Willett, English. And Gary motherfucking Woodland, not English, from America, I believe Texas or Kansas City, something like that. So that's it, guys. That's going to be the winning lineup. I have some of those guys. I mean, I'm not going to draft Danny Willett in the Tebow thing, because it's that's not a long shot, but someone I think could win. I don't know, guys. I think I did a good job. I think I did it. I covered the favorites. Do you not understand? Brooks Koepka looks at it like this, okay? This is how he looks at majors. People asked him the other day, how do you win in majors? How are you so good at majors? He goes, I look at majors like this. How many people are in the major? 150 entrants? Out of those 150, 75 of those guys, they can't win. He goes, they're good players, but they just don't have what it takes to win a major, right? So he goes, that's half the people. He goes, so now out of that half, 75, 80 guys, he goes, half of them will have either 1 or 2 days that suck. Okay? So that knocks it down to 40 guys. There's now 40 guys. How many of those 40 guys are going to play well every single day from Thursday all the way through Sunday? Half of them, great. So he goes, now I got to go out and beat 20 guys. He goes, any day of the week. I can be the best out of 20 guys any day of the week. So that's how confident I am going in the majors. And that's how confident I am going into this weekend with our picks. Okay?
Question. You
What?
just plugged up a guy that Tebow picked. He has Koepka.
Yeah, I didn't say that I'm just giving you a sense of the strategy that great players go into. Now, that doesn't mean –
But he has that great player.
Yeah.
I would have felt better if you were like, this is how McIlroy goes into it and wins. Well, I'm just going to go out and win because I'm the best.
I'm just saying I think he has
Why
that
don't you just
mentality.
Go down Teeb's entire list and tell us why each one of those guys is going to win, Steve.
Tiger Woods has won more majors than anybody else. Do you want me to tell you that, Brenton? Did he grow up in Northern California? 15 minutes from the course? Do you think he played Harding maybe 1,000 times when Earl Woods was beating him with a club to get out to the fucking course? Do you think he knows it like the back of his hand? Was he 5-0 at the President's Cup there a couple years ago? Did he not lose a match? Yeah, but he's still 43 years old. So I have to weigh all these other things in my head, Brenton. I'm doing the best I can with what God gave me, which isn't that much, okay? God. Always on me about it. Always. I'm winning. I won $15 last week. $15.
It's not nothing.
You know what, dude? At least the fucking PGA Championship's going to happen this weekend. Probably. I mean, God forbid there's like an earthquake or something. Baseball, here's how I know baseball's never going to happen or never going to be finished. Why? Because the Yankees are unfucking beatable. There's not a team in baseball that can beat him every single day. Either they're going to mash their way into a victory or Garrett Cole or Tanaka's just going to shut everybody out. The bullpen comes in and it's lights out. We haven't even gotten Chapman back. Aaron Judge was unreal for 5 games last week. Even hit the ball twice the last game 2 days ago before the fucking storm. By the way, we had a storm last night. Did you hear about this? We had a hurricane here. Did you get that?
Yeah.
I have trees down in my neighborhood. I'm the only house with power in my neighborhood. In my section, we all have power, like in this block.
We didn't lose power, but it ripped the flag right off of the house. It was throwing the chairs around outside. It was pretty gnarly.
Normally, my mom used to say, after big storms, oh, the neighborhood looks like downtown Beirut. But today, I wouldn't say that either. Again, guys, I'm not getting anyone into any trouble, all right? I had nothing to do with Beirut. I'm just saying my neighborhood and Beirut both look terrible right now. There are power lines down, trees down. It's insane. People are outside. It's like a fucking music video. I tried to go get beer last night, and streets are blocked off. The cars are smashed in. It was pretty gnarly, dude. We had like crazy, crazy winds here. Mm-hmm. And why did I bring that up? Oh, because the Yankees got postponed yesterday. So they're playing a doubleheader today, two 7-inning games. How do you feel about that? I mean, do you think it's hard? It's hard to beat the Yankees in a 9-inning game. You're only going to do 7 innings. It's like they might not even have to use their bullpen today.
Exactly.
So
what I was going to say.
That's how I know baseball's going to 100% get shut down. That's how I know.
Well, and everyone keeps getting sick.
Yeah, if the Cardinals are now testing positive.
But imagine, though, if Aaron Judge had all 60 games, he might break the single-season home run record. That's how he was so unbelievably good this last week.
Yeah, I watched every at bat. It was like just locked in, completely locked in. Everybody tried to get ahead on him low. He's not diving out over the plate for the low pitches. He'll take a low strike here and there, but he's going to make you get the ball up in the strike zone, and he's going to mash it. Inside, outside. If you can let him extend his arms, forget it. He'll fucking put it 475 feet opposite field. But if you try to – oh, sorry. I had lunch. Oh, it was terrible.
Sloppy.
Tuna fish.
What do you have? Oh, okay.
Sloppy Joe's?
No, tuna fish. And some leftover chicken from last night. I had a double banger protein meal. And then where was I? Oh, yeah. But if you try to jam him, he's just bringing his hands in and just fucking muscling the ball, turning on it, not pulling it foul, just keeping it fair and just hammering it, pulling the ball beautifully. So this is what we dreamt of as Yankee fans when you had Judge and Stanton. I mean, Stanton behind him, you got to pitch to Judge because Stanton's hitting just as well. Gary Sanchez, of course, is the guy that we can't get going. You know, he's had one home run. Fucking fly. It's like I just can't have nice things. We have a beautiful house here in New York, and I have a tiny office in the basement with no air conditioning and flies. I look like I'm sweating a beast. I look like a fucking pink pig locked in his fucking pig pen downstairs.
Yeah, well.
Emma looks like an angel. What lighting do you have, Emma?
There's not even lights on. This is just the window.
I don't know. I just wake up and this is what it is. I don't know. I don't have rosacea.
For those tuning in and going, man, Steve looks like shit. Well, he also smells like shit.
Oh, it's hot as fuck down here.
How's your sunburn?
Look, it's not. I haven't been out in the sun that much, but it's
you look better. It looks more tan.
But I'm going on a boat on Monday, so it could get way fucking worse. Yeah. Ahoy, mateys, on Monday. Going out fishing in the Long Island Sound. Wish me luck. I'm going with another guy who knows what he's doing and our family. But yeah, that should be a blast. I'm sure we'll have some great stories. I'm not going to tip the boat. I haven't had great luck on the water this year. I tipped the kayak upside down. The fucking river rafting was a fucking disaster. There was no water. So hopefully we'll get eaten by a shark or at least attacked by one on Monday. So we'll have another great story for you next week. Yeah, where was I? No, so baseball, yeah, the Yankees are just locked in, and it's the most amazing thing to watch. It's my dream. This is how I've wanted to watch them. Like, I could watch them play 162 games in a row when they play like this. This is beautiful. So I just hope they can keep it up. I hope, because I think it's just a team thing. It's not necessarily the number of players, but if you have two or you could maybe survive one or two, but three or more teams come down like this, and that's it. It's over. It's done, because then you can't have teams playing other teams. Like, you can't have the fucking Phillies before they played the Yankees tonight. They hadn't played a game in a week, and really none of them were really sick. They just didn't have an opponent. They were supposed to play the Marlins. They were supposed to play someone. You know, it's like they were kind of held in a bubble because everyone thought they had false positives come in. So I think two or three more teams before the whole thing goes, fuck it, here we go. And I like that Manfred called Tony Clark and was like, you got to talk to the players. You know, I mean, I'm sure it's easy, but there's other teams that are doing it better that aren't getting COVID on the road. So, you know, I don't know if these guys are going out, probably are. I don't know if where they're going or, you know, for what reasons they're going there, but they have to have some sort of, you know, patience. And I said, like, the team that wins the championship this year, I think is going to be the most disciplined team overall. The team that can not only hit and field and catch and pitch, but the team that has the discipline to not go out and chase pussy on the road. So we'll see. But it may not matter because it all comes down to not having other teams to play in the end. So we'll see. Speaking of not playing, did you see UConn, the men's football team, first football Division I school to go, fuck it, we're done, we're not playing, we're going to get ready for 2021 season. I don't know how they do that. I don't know if I assume they still give the scholarships. The kids still get to go to school, you know, for free. They're just going to continue. I don't know what it does for recruits, you know, or can they be let go? I don't know. But, I mean, it didn't seem like – I looked at right away. They said they were 2-10 last year. So the joke that jumps in my head right away is like they already didn't play last year. What is the difference? 2 wins. You're gonna, you know, you're holding back from your fans a 2-win misery-ridden season. You're good. But you know, it's like, where does this? It seems like the players don't want to play. The players are not interested in playing. They're not interested in getting sick. They're not interested in putting themselves at risk. They want. You know, if you look at the UConn, that's what the UConn statement said. It was like, look, our players have expressed to us a huge concern in health and safety, and we don't want to risk it. You look at the Pac-12. I mean, I think that it's not going to happen. They're staring at each other. The Pac-12 and the football players are staring at each other in a showdown, and I think the football players aren't fucking around. They wanted change. They've asked for it, and this is a good thing. I really do. I think it's a good thing. I think if the NCAA becomes powerless and it's just conference by conference, you'll have a better system, because then the Pac-12 now pays their players. Well, Ohio State's going to go, well, we got to start, letting our players have their own likeness and be able to monetize on that, so to be able to compete. So the less overpowering and overbearing the NCAA is, and letting each conference do what they want to do based on their own players and their own schools, the better it is, because you will have healthy competition, and the players will benefit from it because they'll be able to have themselves. So, I mean, I know would you say, Lucas, the Big Ten released its schedule today, though, right? Did we lose Lucas?
Oh, I think we might have.
All right. Oh, he's back.
Oh, he's back.
There he is. Did you say the Big Ten released its schedule today, or are they just doing a conference thing?
Yeah, they're the only conference that's starting the season on time. So they're starting Labor Day weekend. And the point of that is so that they can have 2 bye weeks in case there are COVID-19 problems.
Really? Are they're worked in, like, is it the whole conference is off that weekend, or is it going to be schools are going to be scattered? Scattered bye weeks. Okay, scattered bye weeks.
Yep.
Okay.
But each team gets 2, which is pretty wise.
But I mean, again, it's going to be a thing where, what if Penn State is supposed to play Michigan and half of the Michigan players come down with COVID? So it's like, well, we're not going to play Michigan now. Can you plug somebody else in, or do they have, I don't think all these teams will end up playing all these games scheduled.
Odds are not good.
I don't think so.
I just don't think football is going to happen, even professional football.
I think college football has to happen.
It'll start, but it's not going to finish.
Are you going to do – go ahead.
Buffalo's best defender, Tre'Davious White, is still on the fence if he's coming back this year.
Yeah.
Are you going to play fantasy? I mean, are we going to play fantasy football? This is something we have to talk about.
We're gonna draft. We're gonna have a league.
It's
probably not gonna finish.
I mean, I'll say what I've been doing cameos. Shout out to Cameo. But a lot of people are like, hey, can you make my fantasy football lineup? I've been doing a lot of that. So yes, I will do it. But I'll tell you what I told everybody else. I don't know why you're doing this, because what are you going to do when you draft Drew Brees and then he opts out? Not that Drew Brees is going to opt out, but you never know, So it's like, how are you going to go about drafting a team? I mean, I know injuries happen and things like that, but it's like you could lose half your team based on, COVID alone. And really, does it make sense? Is it valid? I don't know. It's sort of a strange. Do you feel like it's harder or simpler, or more just a luck of the draw this year?
Well, if you're drafting your team now, it's definitely luck of a draw, because you don't know who else is going to opt out. Because I know there's been a lot of leagues that have been drafted by like the Sharks and the hosts on the shows I listen to, and they drafted in like June, July, and they lost third or half of their team because guys are just saying, I'm not playing.
Yeah, I mean, are you going to draft Saquon Barkley as maybe a second overall running back now that Nate Solder's not opted out for the season? One of our best offensive linemen. I mean, not last year, but hopefully he would have had
Sidebar, though, did you see the video of Barkley jumping out of the pool?
Oh, my God, dude. Oh, my God. That was like hip-high water.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard Bo Jackson.
No, it was higher than that. It was like up to his chest almost.
I heard Bo Jackson used to be able to do that, too. He used to jump out of the water into his truck, the back of his pickup truck.
Unreal.
Yeah. Like a fucking dolphin. Yeah, that's insanity. I mean, I could do that too. I would just rip my lower back out in half, and I'd be, I'd float away in the pool like one of the branches that's floating away right now in my fucking pool.
But we are definitely going to do a league. We're just going to wait till the last possible day to draft.
Yeah, like an hour before the season starts.
Basically.
And then we're still going to get fucked.
Yeah, but maybe we'll get like a week or two out of it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. All right, I'll do it. We'll do it. Let's do it. Why not? What else are we gonna fucking do?
Well, hang on. Were you really like you're all stressed like you're gonna do a ton of prep anyway?
Brenton, did I not just break down exactly why I pick each golfer one by one by
You're not
one?
gonna do that for football though.
Well, I'm saying,
why would I? You don't know football like you know golf. You know golf. I know you're an expert when it comes to golf.
Why would I do that with football when it's like everything could be flipped on its head because so and so opted out?
That's what I'm saying. So don't act all stressed out. You're just gonna show up and go, okay, who's the next highest rated player? That's who I'm taking.
But that frustrates a real good fantasy football player like myself that knows the strategy that they usually use is going to be, not as effective this year.
Well, what's your strategy?
I'm not going to tell you right now.
What's your strategy?
Winning. To win is my strategy.
But you didn't win last year.
Trying to win every year.
You were in the bottom half of the league.
There's only one team that can win, okay? There's only one champion. Everybody else tries. So we all failed last year, okay? Let's be very clear about that. But it's a winning strategy to try to get you there, to have the luck that you need to get on top, okay? That's what I usually rely on, my winning strategy. And this year, it's a little bit different because you never know when someone's going to opt out and just go, fuck it, it's over. You never know. Hey, what if I draft what's his name? Dak Prescott, and all of a sudden he decides to Yolanda Cespedes not show up to a fucking game on Sunday and just call Jerry Jones up and go, yeah, I'm done for the year because you didn't give me the big contract I wanted. What if he decides to do that? Now
I think you'll be okay because
now I'm stuck with Amari Cooper.
I would hope you would draft a different quarterback than Dak Prescott, or at least have a good backup to Dak Prescott. But you do you, Steve.
Fine. I'm using that as a ploy. Maybe now you go, oh my God, everyone's going to go, oh, I got to look at Dak Prescott, And next thing you know, I'm going the other way. Okay?
What's the other way?
The other way. I'm not telling you the other way. I gave you one way. What do you want me to map this whole fucking thing out for you, Brenton? I already gave you $1 million.
Our listeners are tuning in to get advice from you, and you're giving no advice.
I gave advice.
The worst. You're the worst gambling. Here's how you guys win. I'm not telling you anything. Good fucking luck.
No, I gave you advice. I said, look, this is what could happen. This is how I normally go about things. But this year's turned upside on its head, and everyone's going to be like Baby Brenton and just start throwing fucking shit against the wall and hoping it sticks. Okay? Why don't you tell them about the way your strategy is? Just throw it against the wall and hope that it sticks. Now I'll just spend money after money after money.
One player was a dart throw. The rest, half were on my team, my actual fantasy team, and the other half were based on statistics.
If you didn't win the $1 million, would you ever have played about, $10,000 of your own money playing daily fantasy? If you were in $10,000 in debt in daily fantasy, not having won, would you still think would you still be going at it as hard?
Probably.
But I guess winning $1 million changes your perspective.
And 10,000 and 15,000 and 25,000 and 1,300.
I hope the IRS is hearing every single
I paid the IRS on January 15th. I sent in a giant ass check.
And you haven't won since January 15th?
And they got it. No, but not $1 million, obviously.
Right. Okay. Well, congratulations, Brenton. I hope I'll do fantasy again this year, but I don't want to hear about any of your strategies because none of it makes sense this year. Everything's fucking turned upside down, okay? There are no experts this year. Are you going to play, Lucas?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can throw shit against a wall.
Of course. You have to. But, I mean, Brenton, who still thinks he's got some sort of scientific play into it, that's what that bothers me. Now the science is out the window. Okay? I'm a flat earther now. That's what I think. When it comes to fantasy football, I'm flat earther.
Have you all seen the new Washington football team helmets?
No. Did they pick? What are they now? The Washington football team.
Yeah.
That's it?
This season. Yep. This is their helmet right here. It's pretty nice.
That looks like very clean, and I'm into that. Yeah, that looks very simple and clean. I like it.
I like it too. It's very college-y. It's I like the numbers on the helmet. There's no arrow, there's no stripe or anything down the middle, so it's it's very clean. I wish. Yeah, it's great. I mean, what's the logo though? Like, what are they going logo wise? Is it just
maybe they're going no logo?
Yeah,
their logo should just be like the family photo that's in the frame when you buy it.
I mean, yeah, like what are they gonna do? Like the Giants versus the Washington Football Club? Like just like in letters? In like
yeah, good point. Like WFL, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, like
weird.
the Giants have a logo versus the like when you have, I don't know, do they have anything up like as far as gamble on lines or any of that stuff? Like what do they have for the I mean, I guess it is right Washington Football Club, but yeah. I want to see a logo. Like the helmets look cool, but are the jerseys going to be different? Because the jerseys didn't have the.
I assume they're just going to be maroon and white.
Yeah, but I want to see what the logo is going to be, and the name is still fucking pretty stupid. The Washington.
Yeah, the closest they have right now is the Red Wolves, but yeah, some people like the Washington football team more.
I don't know. The Warriors.
I think they should just stay the Washington football team. It captures a beautiful moment where PC culture took over the world, and we can.
Yeah, I mean it's the most PC.
What
name
about
they could possibly have? So.
What about the Washington Ellens? What about that?
I'm for it.
I'm in.
How would you feel if Ellen bought the Washington Redskins from Dan Snyder and just said the Washington, like we're renaming the team, like the Washington go fuck yourselves. You work for me, cunts. Like one of those kind of. And they bring it back to the glory days of like they wouldn't have to change.
They wouldn't have dancing in the stands.
Dancing in the stands, but also the executives can go back to being as handsy as they want, right? They can go back to copping a feel whenever they feel like that. Yeah, but this could be our last podcast. They call me about the Ellen job. So
yeah, I mean, I'd like to welcome in our new listeners from Child Protective Services, the FBI, Homeland Security.
Oh my God, you're going to make such a big deal about this jelly bean thing, aren't you?
You can't give that to your children, Steve.
It's candy, okay? It's not like I'm not a stranger in a van giving candy to kids.
You can offer it to them if you explain to them what it is, and if they so choose to eat it, then I think that's within their right.
Yeah, what's the legal age of consent for candy?
What if I said to Jonah, for every strikeout you collect tomorrow night, I'll give you a jelly bean as a reward? That way it's motivating him to do well, but also at the end it's funny for all of us in the reveal that it's not real.
So
funny.
He loses either way.
No, he wins because we got a lot of strikeouts and he learned a valuable lesson not to trust his dad.
Yeah, it's always a great day when you learn you can't trust your dad.
Yeah, when you're like, fuck, that guy's a real shyster, man.
Yeah.
What a piece of shit.
Speaking of football, do you think The Rock is going to save the XFL?
Yeah, he bought it for $15 million. That's not a bad investment. I mean, if anyone has the personality to save it, it's him. He does have a little cachet in the industry because he was a football player, but also, more than anything, he's an entertainer. And so he realizes that it's not going to be football the way, the NFL is. It's not going to be the competitive, it's not going to be the quality. So you have to make it as entertaining as possible. So he's perfect. If you told me like some fucking business agent guy bought it, I'd be like, well, you're just going back to square one again. But he seems like the kind of person that could, get the ownership groups together, maybe try to figure out the right time of year to do it, make it more, entertaining. I like what they were doing with the cams and the different rules and stuff they had. So keep going in that direction. But, obviously it's not going to be anytime soon. I wouldn't bring it back for at least 2 or 3 years. Really revamp it, figure out where it belongs, when it's supposed to be there. Make sure you have quality ownership that's willing to, lose money for a couple of years and go from there. I did just hope there's not another fucking goddamn pandemic. So, but yeah, that's to me not the worst investment. If you told me he did that over buying a tequila company, I'd say like, yeah, I mean, it's probably 50-50 you're going to lose money, but still, it makes sense to me.
You know he has a tequila company too, right?
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
He
also
does.
He bought the XFL with his ex-wife. So she's the first female commissioner of any league.
He might be like, she's the biggest cunt I know. So if anyone's going to run this thing well, it's going to be her. She's a real ball breaker. So let her be the fucking president, and that's it. Why not? I'll just collect checks. I'll be the face of the thing. Let her run the day-to-day operations. I know she's a real ball breaker. You know, I'm putting words in the Rock's mouth. Maybe they have a great relationship there. I don't know. But, you know, you don't run something with your ex-wife unless you know she's going to be valuable. And that's it. I'm glad they worked it out somehow or another. Or this could be a thing where it's like, look, you wanted something. This is what I got you. Now stop asking and leave me alone. And she can walk around and tell her friends that she owns a football franchise or a football league that no one ever fucking will see be played again. And that's good for everybody, you know? Look, these are all hypotheses. That's what we're supposed to do here. We're supposed to make guesses and see if they come true. But I'm happy for The Rock. It seems like a good fit, and I think he'll do a good job if he actually does do something with it. It could be he's made so much money on the fucking tequila company that he's got to have some sort of tax loss to write off. So he bought the shitbox XFL for $15 million. Who knows? This could be a whole Ponzi scheme for all we know.
Oh, they make so much money. Those guys who get the booze companies, George Clooney sold his for $1 billion.
Oh my God!
He had like a half a stake into one, and he made $500 million off
Randy
him
Gerber.
and that other guy.
Randy Gerber.
Yeah.
They bought that fucking tequila Dos Amigos or whatever it is. Yeah, like Clooney. Like, when are you going to see him in a movie again? You think he's going to do a fucking movie? No, he's got tequila.
No, he's just producing now.
That's it.
Just throwing tequila money at films, at Matt Damon, and saying, just be in this.
Yeah, that's it. What do you want to go? Leave your house in Lake Como for what? To go sit on a fucking set and talk to some background people? Come on, dude. He's in the prime. George Clooney's in the prime of his life, his 60s, his mid-60s, okay? This guy is going to live to 1,000 years old. Let him make tequila money and age well. Yeah, maybe we should get a fucking What's the Odds tequila.
That's what I'm saying. So then when people lose money listening to us, they have something to drown their sorrows.
Corolla had that fucking sangria, right? What was that? Didn't he have his own sangria, Corolla? Or he probably does. That Mangria. He has like a man. That was it. Mangria. Corolla's Mangria. What a fucking...
That sounds like an STD, I'm not going to lie.
I know.
Sangria.
I did a podcast once, and it was in the green room, and I didn't try it. But mostly because I was driving that night, but I was also like, I don't really even – I'm not a huge sangria fan. And I'm not really –
for your mangina.
Yeah, Mangria. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else I had for fucking – I'm very disappointed in the fact that there's going to be no baseball in a couple of weeks. I really am.
Yeah.
Can I say real quick about baseball? Shout out to the Mariners fans that put a cutout of Steve Bartman in left field against the Cubs.
No, they didn't. Did they really?
That's some good trolling.
That is great. Were they were obviously home, or they in Chicago and someone paid for it to be?
No, I believe they're in Seattle. Let me find a copy of it.
Oh, that's great.
Here it is.
I wonder if you can do that if you were in Chicago, just pay to have anybody there. I'd have Bartman sitting next to Harry Carey.
There it is.
Oh God, perfect. Poor Bartman.
Yeah, seriously, they just won't let him go away.
I'm sure he's happy now. I'm still free Joe Kelly. I can't believe 8 games. We didn't. I mean, it happened right after we finished the podcast last week. Because I said, maybe they'll suspend him. Kind of thinking, but fucking 8 games. Mm-hmm. 8 games. Because why? Because Rob Manfred didn't do his job?
Because he made a face that he didn't like.
Look, here's the deal. The Astros cheated. Everybody found out. Why? Because Rob Manfred gave immunity to the players so they would talk. That was the only way you can get them to talk, so you couldn't punish the players. But then he left it alone. Instead of punishing the franchise with more than just, the firing of the manager and suspension of the GM and the draft picks. You take the World Series away. You take it away. You don't necessarily give it to anybody else, but you take it away. That would have been enough. I feel like everybody would have been okay with that. Maybe you would have had a little bit of throwing, but not that much. Then you cut the players' legs out from underneath them to be able to deal with it. The way baseball's dealt with it their entire existence, the players deal with shit themselves by saying at the preseason or the beginning of the fucking reboot, whatever that, if you throw at them, you will be suspended. They made that clear to every team. Well, did you think that Joe Kelly of the Dodgers, who was specifically injured in this whole thing by having pitches tipped in the playoffs as a reliever on the Dodgers, who's wild as it is, did you think no balls were to come anywhere near? Now, I'm not advocating throwing at anyone's head, but if anybody's going to throw at someone, it should be the people that were directly damaged by the situation. So, again, I'm free Joe Kelly. 8 games is ridiculous. For a reliever, you could pitch every day, theoretically, and 8 games is really like 6 or 7 appearances you would have made. 8 games would have been a lot if you were a starter. 8 games is ridiculous. It's equivalent to 22 games in a 160-game season.
Mm-hmm.
350 grand of real money of a guy risking his life. You're going to take that money away. Now, again, I'm not saying throw at somebody's head. And again, you could suspend them. We told you not to do it. Here's a 2-game suspension. We told you not to do it. But do you think it's gonna stop everybody else? Now the Astros are like, they're gonna sit there comfortably. If I'm Altuve, if I'm Bregman, I'm sitting more comfortably than I ever have in the box, because what if anyone even comes near me? You think the Yankees want to throw now? I get, yeah, it made its point, but you didn't do any justice to the players by fucking Joe Kelly like that. So I don't think Joe Kelly.
I don't think anybody needs to throw at him, though. Have you seen their batting average?
Who, the Dodgers? They're not playing well.
No, the
Astros. Yeah.
Bregman's hitting 211. Springer's hitting 182. Altuve's hitting 158.
Without fans, without the ability to all their little tricks to be able to, you in an empty stadium, you can't bang pots and pans and sound like Stomp on the fucking in the dugout. Without their little tricks and all this shit, it's affecting a couple players. I was watching the Yankees play the Red Sox, and JD Martinez, the great hitter for the Red Sox, used to, after every at-bat, because he was a DH, he'd go down and watch the at-bat and see what they were doing and see where he missed. He's a very visual learner, and now he can't do that this year, and it's truly affecting his numbers. I believe it is. So, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me that the teams that worked on fundamental hitting, like see the ball, hit the ball, get good contact on it, like the fucking Yankees, are thriving, and teams that have relied on tricks and trinkets and watch my are not. So karma's a cunt. That's what I think. And fuck you if you think Joe Kelly at a Robin Ventura for charging the mound. Yeah. A 43-year-old man fucking come here. Fucking
he was,
son of a bitch.
46, Steve.
46. That's 3 years older than me.
Looked like he was spanking his little son.
Motherfucker, dude. The ball's on Robin Yount, to go out and fucking charge a 46-year-old man who's throwing gas. Okay? Gas. Speaking of the Houston Astros, gas. And they beat the shit out of each other. He beat the fuck out of him and taught him what's what. Could you imagine if Nolan Ryan got a 30-game suspension for that?
Would never happen.
Or if Robin Yount got arrested for beating up an old man or trying to?
It was Ventura.
Robin Ventura, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Robin Ventura, one of the best pure natural hitters in the world.
Yep.
He could hit the baseball, Robin Ventura. Yeah, that's how you handled it. That's how we dealt with shit. But now you get suspended. Now, I mean, you never want to see anyone get hurt. Obviously, I'm not advocating throwing at anyone's head, but the ass, the legs, the shoulder, inside, that's all fucking fair play. And don't be a cunt about it. I don't know. That's my 2 cents on it. I don't know if you guys felt differently, but to me, I was like, this sucks. They really, they fucked this up.
I agree.
And where's the players union to back them up? Like, can't they appeal the suspension, or don't they have?
I think he is appealing, but I haven't heard if anything's come of that.
So is he allowed to play while he's appealing? That used to be the rule. I mean, I don't know, but if they lose him for 8 games, that really blows, because they shouldn't have. Yeah. What else did I miss? You guys have anything?
By the way, I'm looking at it right now. Robin Ventura was suspended for 2 games for that, and it doesn't look like Nolan Ryan was suspended at all.
Of course not. You're going to suspend a 46-year-old man who got assaulted on the mound after doing his job? Doesn't make any sense. The guy was playing baseball before the guy that came at him was alive.
Yep. And
he beat him up. Did you suspend Mr. Miyagi for throwing the fucking Cobra Kai up against the fence? Give me a break. Bullshit, dude. Baseball's changed. Bring back fucking Paul Giamatti, the Bart Giamatti, Paul's dad. Bring him back. The good old days when he looked fucking Pete Rose in the eye and said, "You're never going to fucking get back in as long as my body has blood inside of it, you fuck." Real resentment. Okay? Not this bullshit. Get rid of it. I don't like it at all. Plus, these guys go up with fucking body armor suits that's like, who cares if you get hit, you big pussy? You're wearing a fucking linebacker. You're wearing shoulder pads, you cunt. Give me a break. Give me a break. Bullshit, dude. Where are you going to throw at them? Throw at their legs and their hips and their ass. That's what I say. That's what I teach my son.
Steve, what shows are you watching? Because you're saying cunt a lot.
I was watching Bloodline, but then I watched Last Chance U, the new episodes. Did you watch the new Last Chance U? And
Not yet.
They went to Oakland this year, to Laney JUCO, and it was fucking awesome. Coach Beam, shout out to Coach Beam if you're a fan of this. I love your Fu Manchu mustache, you sexy bitch. He's half Hawaiian or half Japanese, half white. This guy's a real good coach. Like you could tell. You know, I don't know if did you watch last season with the Coach Brown. You know, he was a loudmouth, sort of a big personality. This guy was too. I think, obviously if you're going to get these guys' attention, these JUCO coaches, you're going to have some sort of personality. But he was a little nicer. It killed him with kindness. There were, there were rough stories, but I learned a lot about Oakland and Oakland, San Francisco more specifically. So, look at Coach Bean. Look at that sexy fucking mustache of his, dude. Beautiful, dude. He did a great job. I'm not going to ruin it, and I'm not going to give it away, but it's a good season. You got some good personalities, and it was fun. It's so maybe just hearing. I don't know why I said. I was hanging out with my brother.
Your brother, the priest.
My brother, yeah. Yeah, he drops the content a lot too. Yeah, I don't know, but. I'm going on a boat. Looking forward to that, and that's it. You fucking cunts. What else? You guys got anything?
I'm headlining Teehees this Saturday. I think tickets are sold out, but if they're not, you can find them through my Facebook page.
Wait, say the name of the place again.
Teehees. It's in downtown Des Moines. There's an improv troupe going up before me.
Is that a strip club?
Teehee.
No, not maybe during weekdays, but Fridays and Saturdays it's a comedy club.
Teehees.
So it's how people used to laugh in the 30s, Steve.
Yep.
Nice. Wow. Thank you. What a sound effects. Brenton, you got anything else?
A mystery, bizarre 15-foot creature with flippers and fur washed up on a beach in Myerside, and no one knows what it is. They don't know if it's a
15-foot creature.
A creature. They don't. It has fur. It has flippers. It had no face. It was badly decomposed. So it might be aliens. It might be the scary shit that's under the ocean that we don't know about, and they've decided this is the year to come up.
This would be the year.
And no one's worried about this? No one said, like, we got a new thing? We got a new thing?
I'm bringing it up.
Yeah, but scientists and stuff aren't like, we got a new thing on the planet? Or is there like, this horse fish got killed under the water or eaten alive? What is it? It looks like a horse fish.
Yeah, it looks like a horse fish with wings and flippers.
Don't talk about me like that. Yeah.
What beach is this? Where is this?
I don't know where Meyer's side is. Maybe Europe? Is that in
Not
London?
our problem.
I mean, it could be like Meyer's side, fucking California. Who knows?
No.
As long as it's not anywhere near like New York. We've had shark sightings and all over the fucking island here. So they're pissed. They're eating shit. So if they're eating this seahorse thing, this giant seahorse.
Spectators said it almost looked like an elephant.
What? An elephant? Oh my God. This is why I don't go in the water. This is why I stay in boats.
Oh, and there's great white sharks supposedly around the beaches in LA. They've spotted a few of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're up here. Maine just had their first ever shark death like a week ago because a woman swimming 60 feet out from her dock in the ocean got killed by a shark. They never come up this far. They're never up this far. It's too
because
cold.
They know they smell weakness. They know COVID's taken over. They know that we're weak humans.
Yeah. Who knows? Apparently it's because there's a lot of seals out this year, like more than normal. So they come up to feed on the seals. But the sharks are very rarely even past Cape Cod, let alone up this far north. So
oh God,
they're coming for us.
We're gonna need a bigger
boat. It's a British beach. We're good. We're all good.
Not our problem.
I'll fight a fucking shark. I know what to do. I watch Mike Tyson. You're going to punch it directly into the nose. I watched a lot of Shark Week. They don't like when you come back. You have to, apparently you're not supposed to swim away in fear, which, but you're supposed to fight back and punch him in the nose. So that's what I'm going to do if I encounter one on Monday. Let's hope, fingers crossed, nothing goes wrong. But this could be our last podcast, guys. Either, let's see, it could be because I get the Ellen job, or I got eaten by a shark next week. What a fun podcast to listen to. What a cliffhanger to end on, guys. One thing's for sure, someone will be eating jelly beans on next week's podcast. You guys, even if are those tears, Brenton? Tears of sadness because Steve got eaten by a shark? No, these are tears from the habanero.
If you fucking die and I have to eat 2 jelly beans because you're dead,
You have to eat my beans if I die, Brenton.
Jelly bean fire on your grave.
Brenton, if you don't eat my beans if I die, this podcast is the biggest sham in the history of audio.
But I'm shitting on your grave.
Fine. Here's the deal. You can eat them, and if you want to vomit or shit on my where my tombstone is, that's fine. I allow. That's responsibility I should have taken. But you got to eat them, and you got to pay the bet off.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you.
That's it. But we're not going to have to pay the bet off because you picked the right players.
Because Webb Simpson's going to win the PGA Championship this weekend. All right. Mark it down. Webb Simpson. That's the podcast for this week, ladies and gentlemen. We thank you very much. Thank you to our Patreon members, as always. We have some stuff heading your way very soon. Thank you to the listeners. Please tell someone else if you like the podcast to rate, subscribe, listen to it. We appreciate it. Continue to write us some emails because we'll read them. We got nothing else to do. I wish we could take calls, but we can't. One day we will be able to again if we ever.
we could give out your cell phone number.
Great idea, Brenton. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you next week. Love you. Bye.